the old link. We had to do a new link for reasons. But anyway, we're live. Just waiting on Jared to head on in here. But hope you guys are doing awesome tonight. Is anybody here? So we're gonna be doing, for those of you tuning in, we're gonna be doing live website critiques tonight. Gonna be going through some films, checking a bunch of stuff out. We're also going to be doing one film review because we didn't get to it last week and I really wanted to. But I'm just going to kind of give people a minute to load. And Jared, are people loading in the room? Hello. You got no audio. Turn you back on. You got a baby there.
I see my audio.
Now it's there. Are people loading in the room? You got no audio.
Still?
No, you do. Are people loading in the room? Is it live? Hey, what's up? We're here. All right, guys. So we're going to give people a couple minutes to load in. While people are loading in, I want to say today's live stream is brought to you by YOLO Live, the creators of the YOLO box. We really love this thing. It's really great. As you can see, it's got 2 HDMI inputs as well as a USB input, an HDMI out, Ethernet. What's really cool about it, not only does it have Wi-Fi and Ethernet for your live streaming, and it has a really nice little switching mechanism on the inside. You can do everything in here. But it also has 4G LTE. So if you're looking to buy one, there's a link inside the description below. So go check it out. We really like this device and we use it. Hey, look, it's Lorette. How you doing? Hey, so I was going to get going. I don't know if James is here. Is James Turner in here? Either in Instagram or not Instagram. That's not a thing we're doing. Is he on Facebook or is he in YouTube, Jared? Is James Turner? No, he's not. Okay. I'm just gonna get into some website critiques in a little bit. But before we do that, I kind of wanted to talk through really what is a good website and what are we critiquing it based on? Because one of the things I think that we often look at when it comes to websites is we're pretty much usually just like going like, is it cool? Right. And I think a lot of times people get a little over. I've seen websites where they have no navigation to speak of. I've seen websites where there's absolutely no sales pitch on it, but they have a giant big video. And at the end of the day, a website is a sales tool. Ultimately, it's a branding and sales tool, and it's supposed to give a concept of who you are. Of course, what are your films like? I'm going to take this coat off, by the way. My goodness, what am I wearing? I'm New England, so I'm just always wearing a coat. But it's supposed to be showing people a couple of things. So we're going to be looking at websites for a couple of different reasons, and kind of critiquing them on a few different things, which first of all, and most importantly, and this might not seem like to me, this is most important, which is how well does this communicate who your brand is? I think the second one is how easy is it to use? And then I think the third one would be how effectively does it showcase your work? If that's the point. I think some websites maybe not so much. And then I think the final thing that you're looking at is how effectively does it sell your work, right? Because you can show your work, but it could possibly not sell very well. And so obviously we don't want that. So we're going to look at that. So I want to show you guys a couple sites that I really like, that I think will kind of set the tone for what I believe is something to shoot for all of us. If you're looking at websites. So I'm going to pull up a website of a friend of ours from Le Red Films. This is a dope website. Now, if you know them, they're, I think, some of the top luxury wedding filmmakers in the world. So you got a couple things going on here that are. Can you guys still see this when I switch over? When I switch over here, Jared, can you still see this? Is it still up on the screen?
I still see you.
No, the screen share.
Yeah, your cursor. Yep.
Great. I just wasn't sure. I haven't used it this way before. Goodbye, yep. Jared. So there's a bunch of things here. First of all, you got the tiniest of fonts, which lets people know it's luxury. You got this very sophisticated logo. We got all these little touches that tell you what this brand is like. Of course, the video is beautiful. Here's what I like about this website, besides it being beautiful, having wonderful branding. I also love the way the Inquire over here. It is a different font. It draws attention. It tells the person where to go. The slogan is also nice. The slider is really nice. For those that don't know, this is, well, it's probably not a slider in actual technical sense, but it also has this little prompt here, scroll here to begin. It's kind of taking you on a journey. It's showing you really quickly. These people are a big deal. They have stuff in People Magazine. They have reviews. So this is the thing you're going to see with websites that are very good. They're going to have opportunities to go and look at the work or look at the prices or whatever it is they want you to look at throughout the site. This is a luxury product. So I'm assuming that they're not all about giving you the price right away. They want you to want the product and to understand the value of the product before they get to price. And that's what you'll see with luxury. And what I want to be really clear with is they are not selling to who you are probably selling to. So just because LaRev Films does it doesn't mean you should do it, but they should certainly do it this way. So they're going to view the films, right? This is a little cutie thing, little cutie font. Who did your site, Lindsay, if you're in there, or whoever, if it's Cherish, whoever did the site, it's probably at the beginning. They got press. So like all within the first page, you can actually kind of go through and understand the what they do and who they are. Let's see. TPD Design House. Very nice. I would encourage you, if you guys can afford them, head there. They did a great job. But anyway, let's look at the pages really quick. We got home, which is obvious. About. So this is the deal. First of all, this image right here, they're married. Tells you that they're, I'm assuming, maybe they're dating, but married or dating, they are married. But if you didn't know them, if you didn't know Lindsay and Cherish, you would get a quick idea of like what it's like to be around them, the vibe they have, and that they're married, which for some people might be a nice trust building thing. You tell about there. We're not going to get tons in a copy tonight, by the way, because that is a whole other ball of wax that I don't want to get into. So we're just talking website. But really quickly, you get an idea of who they are. They want you to know Lindsay and Cherish. That is who they want you to know. They want you to know what a little bit, and of course you get into this, our mission and philosophy, personal, genuine, emotional, intuitive, playful. Like, just to be clear, they did not get this. This is not a cheap website, and it was not just done by them. It was done by a design house, a branding experts. So this is why I wanted to show you a site like this. So you could see what the A game is like. Portfolio, beautiful videos. I like the way their portfolio is presented. I much prefer this over a bunch of play buttons, although I'm not criticizing the play buttons because I understand a lot of us do it, but this is just beautiful looking. Probably, oh, they embedded it in the back. That's nice. Oh, there's the film. There's the film. This is really cool, actually. So they have a little snippet embedded in the background of the film. Every page has its own. Yeah, this is dope. That's a good idea. And then, experience. So I like a page like this, especially for luxury, because people want to know, like, what am I paying for here? Like, why? Because you're going to give them a big price tag and they want to know, what is this experience like? First of all, that's a cool little graphic. 1, 2, 3, 4, like you're walking someone through the journey, which is proposal. Hey, we're going to send you, here's how much money we want to charge you. Planning. We're going to go through logistics with you. We're going to capture the event and then we're going to produce the thing. Now, what I like about this, and I don't know, Lindsay, maybe you can answer this. I would assume that this is supposed to be intentionally very non-intimidating because your couples are very busy people. I don't know if that's true or if you're still here, Lindsay, but or Cherish, whoever's in the room. I would assume that that's what this is supposed to communicate, because when I see this, I see this is a person who knows how to deal with people who are busy, who don't want to be bothered all the time. That's probably like, it's not telling you like, we dream with you, we have dinner with you, we have all, we become your best friend. We're not, it's not communicating that kind of vibe, but it is very clear and to the point, and I love that. Press is great. If you have press, I like the word press. That is a very distinguished term. If you work with PR people, they would say press. You say, call it press and not reviews or the not or something like that. You know, these are they're links out, by the way, to big time websites, which, you know, I don't have any Harper's Bazaar links out on from my brand, but they do. So great job, Lindsay. And then of course your contact form, which is the same as the inquiry form. I like that they use both words right away as a website trick, you know, having redundant. And so I'm going to go back and show you this. Every page should take someone somewhere. No pages should be pointless. And by that, I mean, it should always leave a lead to someone going deeper in the process you want, which is looking at your work more or just contacting you. Like dead end pages, I see it all the time. It'll be a page like that says like about me, and then like it goes nowhere. You get to the bottom of about me, and it goes no. Let's see if it's gonna pass my test. My guess is there it is, right down here. You get to the bottom. If you read all that stuff and you follow, every page has a secondary step on it. You know, and then they also have multiple ways to get where they want you to go, which is either look at the work or contact them. Finally, education, which is mentorships. So if you guys would like mentorships by these people, they are incredible business people. They make wonderful films. Please head to their website, fill this out, get mentored by them. Honestly, gotten to know them a little bit over the last, since Vision Quest and then over Clubhouse and stuff, and they're great. So I want to show you another website that I think really does a different thing, but this is also a good website. And it's a weird website, but it's going to be something that we kind of get into. So this is another type of product. This is one where it is telling you really quickly. There's an idea in web design where you want to attract or repel, and you want to attract people towards the things that are good. You want to attract the customer that's going to enjoy what you do, and you want to repel the customer who's not going to enjoy what you do. And this website is freaking weird. Like if you never want to have a mom book you directly, just send them to the Bottle Brush website or make your website exactly like this. But you got to have the chops to pull it off. And these guys, they have the chops to pull off a website like this. Your menu's over here, which is weird. It's got all these weird links, you know, home. There's no work on I guess there's down here, but it's like, even that's weird. It's presented in a very strange way, taking you, everything is pure Bottle Brush. We're all pretty bizarre, just some of us better at hiding it. Like anyone who sees this site, well, it's beautifully done, but anyone who sees this site is going to know this is not going to be a normal wedding film. You know, and that's what they want you to see. You know, what do some of these do? Rom-coms. Now, this is their work, which is awesome. That's how they do their break it out between local, which they're in Australia, and international. What we offer. This is great. I don't know if it's legal, but the Rachel package, the Ross package. But you're just in every single step of the line of the way, you are seeing these people are not what you would expect. And so like we had Larev, which everything about that site said, I wouldn't say buttoned down and boring, but I would say very refined luxury, a type of person who probably wouldn't be into this site. But everything about this site says hip, fun, party, like the exact personalities, the types of weddings they do. I'm going to show you my boring website. If you don't know, Jared and I run a company called Stop Go Love. And we are, it's not loading. We are a pretty large volume studio, but most of our weddings are local. They're all shot by our team. We don't have anyone random coming in or whatever, but this is our website, and our website is designed to create leads and sell weddings. That is what we made it to do. We want every opportunity to make you go see a price. We think our price is a selling point, and we want to get you to make a commitment as quick as possible. And we want you to get on the phone and already know exactly what you want and already feel comfortable with the discussion. And all you're trying to figure out is, do I like these guys? So, we have our work front and center. We have very simple navigation at the top. And then we're putting some recent work really quick right in front of your face so you can see it. We picked a couple things that we thought would be compelling to people, which is a landmark that everyone would know, the ocean, and then some drone foliage, fall stuff, because that's quintessential New England. We say, see our films. And, we're pitching to engage couples, and we have a very laid back way of talking that's important to us. So I would tell you guys, like, get your personality in your copy. Like I said, we're not going to get into copy, but I will say, get your personality in your copy. Sometimes I read people's copy and it'll be like, timeless, elegant wedding films for timeless, elegant people. And I'm like, you don't talk like that. That doesn't sound like you. Like, it doesn't need to be stuffy and weird. Like, try to be authentic on your copy. So we have a little promo down here. This is our little extra add-on that we will try to get into add-ons. The other thing we do with price a lot is, not to be shifty, but like, this is only going to be the price if you buy like a bunch of other things. And so we're always trying to get you to look at something and dream about it. And if we say like the price to show up without photo, video, and all the other things, you might not be as interested, but we have a very tactical sales strategy about, we're looking at who we are as a team. When you deal with teams like ours, it's important to show people because they feel like they're part of your team for real and not just random guys. So we try to get our team up there and show them. Services. This is where we kind of shine, I think, as a company. This part of our website, I feel like it's consistently a high performer. And we're just like, these are our prices. Like, when you go to look at who, like, it's right there. See packages. We got more work. We got a little, this is just an in-page navigation, by the way. And so we got like all our packages right here. This is exactly what we sell. I see some people's packages presentations on their websites, and I could not imagine why they made it so complex. They have all this flowery language. They have all this stuff. Ours is just like bam, 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 bam. And then we have a little link so people can see some work.
Okay, so let's talk about the recap package. And
so this video right here is Jared explaining what comes in the package. So every one of our packages, we made a video explaining it. We also have a fact right here. What is our turnaround time? Can we choose our own music? What is a linear edit? We talk about bundles and explain what the bundles are. And then, of course, it's just like, get a hold of us, get a hold of us, get a link. So these are two very different websites, very different approaches, but I wanted to kind of talk that through to see, like, this is what we're going to be judging it based on. How does it present your brand? How intentional is it selling your work? Is it easy to navigate? Does it take a person where we want to go? So let's get into it, huh? Let's get into it. All right. So in no particular order, I'm just going to start looking at films or look at websites. And when James gets here, Jared, just let me know if he shows up, because I don't want to review it if he's not able to be here. So you can just let me know. And I can't really hear you, so you can just Slack me or something. And that'll be cool. All right. So let's look at our first website. So this website. Oh, geez, did it go to a new? Yes, it did. All right. So we've had Optimal Focus up here a few times. And so very cool to look at another one of their sites. So let's check it out. So here we go. All right. So first thing I notice on this is And we're not going to get into branding or anything. So just in case anyone's wondering, I'm kind of ignore logos and things like that. And that's not important, but I will look and see, like, does the website remind me of the logo? I think that's important. So when I'm looking at the website, the first thing I think is the logo doesn't really seem to match the work. And that's just a little critique. I will say this. I wish this was a video, this background right here. And this copy right here doesn't do much for me. Wedding video. Like, no, it's not a wedding video. That's a picture. So you should have a video that didn't say wedding video would be better. That's just my opinion. I do like that it's very odd, like that you put out there though, that we sell photo and video. So I like that. This is the work right here. Up here. So this is my opinion on sites like this. It doesn't really tell me packages. Like I have a hard time knowing where I can learn about what you sell. Now I scrolled a little, so I saw it, but like if I was a new couple here, I would go like, where do I learn about his prices? How do I learn about his packages? All that stuff. Well, down here, so there's a term we'll talk about called below the fold. Just so you guys know too, we own a web design firm that I operate. So I have a little experience. And so if I get a little nerdy, just let me know if I'm like using too many web design terms. But this is what we would say below the fold. Below the fold means a person has to engage with the site longer to get to the core content. And what I would say is when you see this website, this is James's website, by the way, James Turner, Optimal Focus. If you're watching this, I would say you probably would do better to encourage someone to look at your sales environment sooner. There's no work right away, and there's no way to see your prices and packages. So someone has to engage further. They need more commitment. And so I'll go to another page and I'll show you. So if I went to this and I'm like, where, here, and then I went here and I'm just looking for the prices. And I went here and I go, oh, where are the prices? Where are the prices? I can see custom collection. What is that? How much does that cost? I don't know. About us. Okay. Here's the deal. This right here is great. This needs to be a navigation item on your top thing, because this is the sales pitch right here. Feature collection starting at $1,700. That should be way up here. You are not. I'm assuming this price is something you're comfortable with, and I will never criticize someone for price. Just so you know, like you could charge more. Forget that. Do whatever you want to do. Here's the deal. This is a selling point. And so when you have a selling point buried, and it's not even on any other page, it's only on your homepage. So this, you got to get somewhere up here. Our packages. You have to have it, because your packages are compelling. And I don't love this custom collection. To me, it's not a custom collection. That's just my opinion. We're not doing package reviews, but in my opinion, this highlight collection either should be your middle package, or this custom collection should be something else. But like custom should be next level crap, right? It should be, this is my opinion. Also, it's a proven sales tactic, so take it or leave it. Beginning, middle, end, custom. And I look at this and I see beginning, middle, you have two options really. And if you don't want those two options, you have to go custom. And maybe that's what you want to do. This is just my opinion. When I look at this though, I see get in touch is down there. So that's good. So on your films page, let's reimagine this. On your films page, you don't have your packages. I really believe, like, for instance, what kind of film is this? Is this which collection am I looking at? Can you give me some insight into what I am buying on each of these? Can you make it easier for me as a customer? So let's look at destinations and elopements. Okay, so here's my thing with this. I like when people have elopement, for SEO reasons, or destination for SEO reasons, but I don't like it when you have pages with this much scroll and nothing to read. Are you good at destinations? Have you done a lot? Tell me about this. Tell me about destination. Tell me why I want to go on a trip with you. Make me feel comfortable about that. Pitch, sell every page. And of course, communicate. So this is just, this is fine. Totally fine paying. Get to know you. Got nice pictures. And, like I said, I'm not going through all the copy. But I think this is good. So James, I would say this is not at all a bad website, but I would encourage you. I will say, if you will have a page called packages, you will get more people filling out your contact form, especially because it's a selling point. So, yeah. So moving on. So that's James. Is James here? Thumbs up, Jared. Thumbs down. Okay. Well, you don't get your film review, James. Anybody here Dunkin' Donuts fan? Is it just me? So in New England, we drink Dunkin' Donuts like all winter, but iced coffee, like never hot coffee, always iced coffee. So apologize. I'm going to be drinking. This is my unofficial sponsor. Speaking of sponsors, we have a great sponsor tonight. The YOLO box. It's actually YOLO Live. They make the YOLO box. This thing is great. Check out the links below. Really, really cool device. And honestly, I don't mind telling you guys, when you guys support them, you support our channel, you support what we're trying to do, and that just means a lot to us. So if you want to buy one, buy it through us. But also, this thing is great. It's really great. You got a busy season coming up, and you're going to have some opportunities to make some money with live streaming. And if you're like, I want to do it, but I don't really want to actually get that into it, you can probably get one of these for $800, and you can easily make like $8 grand with it. So pretty cool device, easy to use, 4G, all the good stuff. Check it out. So let's look at some more websites. All right, next up, we're going to be looking at TN Reels, T Newson. All right. I need some music for this, huh? Wait, I have some. Yeah, that's pretty good, right? TN Reels. All right. Here we are, TN Reels. So right away you see he's got a nice little video. And again, we're not going to be reviewing, like, for instance, like, I'm not going to be reviewing, do I like the videos or anything like that. So, but I will say, like, some of the, try to get your best shots in there. And like, if there's like, there was like a little focus mistake there and like little bumpy things, I might tweak this reel a little bit just so that it has like no mistakes whatsoever. The other thing, this is a web critique. When you're importing into something like this, it looks like it's getting really crushed by the actually, do you mind if is T here? T Newsom, are you here? What's up, dude? T, can you answer me? All right, what platform is this website on? Is it Squarespace or WordPress, or what platform are you on? I'll wait for him to answer. Come back to this. Apologize, because when I'm going over to look at the sites, I'm switching off the window where I can see the chat. So, oh, Show It. Show It, is that a website platform? Never ever heard of that. Okay, so when you upload to these platforms, one thing to look at is you might sometimes want to maybe slightly boost your saturation and your contrast, because it can get crushed. The other thing you want to be careful is actually sometimes they can just crush your blacks to oblivion, because they're really like compressing the crap out of these files in order to make them play quickly. But I will say this, the reel played, when you do these video backgrounds, you want it to play really quick, because I've seen some websites where it just drags and it loads. So, okay, so we got up here. Let's look at the navigation, the home, about, my work, contact. So a couple of things about this site when I look at it. First of all, I like that it's easy to use. I don't like that I don't get a good sense of who you are or what your brand is like. Luckily, you got this work right here, but like the logo, man, you got to get a logo. You got to pay somebody to make a logo for you, man, because it will help so much. It'll help so much. Like the initial first impression of up here. And so anyway, a statement like this doesn't do much for me. But it's probably fine with the couples. Love this. Again, you need a logo. I don't love seeing this picture right here from your personal YouTube. I like it right here. This is great. I like this a lot. And the work looks very nice too. And I like this too. Your page just goes right into so is this okay, good. Okay. Sometimes these are actually single page websites. This is really not bad, actually. Like, I think if you got the branding a little tighter, I kind of like how you kind of you get it all out there. Anybody looking at this, they could see your work and they could get a hold of you right away. I love that. And your Instagram's right there. So there's a lot to like about this homepage. About, that's a really fun picture, man. I love it. Okay, so can I encourage you to get someone to write copy for you? I'll read this sentence. With little experience of filming a wedding, a year later, I got asked to film a wedding. And I'm not making fun of you at all. I'm just saying if it's not your strength, like something like that comes across as a little unsophisticated and like you either like a spelling mistake or a grammar mistake. I had a blast filming the wedding and the couple loved the video and they couldn't believe it was my first one. I think you should rework this because it just comes across as like this picture is very informal and goofy. And I like that. I think that's great. And I think this should reflect your fun side, but it should also be well written and look professional, because if somebody wanted to like, when you decide to do something like this, which I think, by the way, this personality is not reflected in your website. This website needs to be a little bit more fun because I think that's who you are. But I will say if somebody was like, oh, this guy's really fun, but is he a little too fun? And then they read it and it's like kind of sloppy and it's not the best language. I would encourage you, just maybe get a copywriter. Most of our clients, when we do websites for them, many of them hire a copywriter. And so if you're not good at that, there are people who will just write copy for you. And I would encourage you, if you're not comfortable writing copy, so I'm a Christian, by the way. And I think this is cool that you put this out there, that you love God, and all that stuff. I think somebody who would see this, I will tell you this though, this might alienate some people. And so just like when you put yourself out there, just know, and this is fine. Some people are alienated by certain things. Some people don't want to work with people. They don't want to think about religion when they're hiring someone. I'm not telling you what to do. This is just a thing I get from experience. Love how this thing looks though. It looks really good. That page is great. My work, I would like to see a few smaller videos or some squares, not so much below the fold. The other thing I'd like to see is, what are your packages? How do I buy this? Like, you're not, and I'll say this, most wedding filmmakers have been told like, oh, you got to get them on the phone and then you got to upsell them and you got to do all. I think most wedding filmmakers aren't charging enough to worry about that. Most wedding filmmakers, your price is probably a selling point. And if someone likes your work and they want to get a hold of you, if you just tell them like starting at price or giving people something to grab onto so that they're like willing to make this commitment. I want you to put yourself in their shoes on your website and think about like, would I want to bother getting a hold of someone about something I had no idea about? So when we go back to LaRev, right, that's expensive. Not only that, because your planner told you it's expensive. Like, you're working with someone and they told you it's expensive. When you go to this site, it looks, I actually, do you mind answering this, T? Are you selling, is your average sale like 2,000 or 5,000? Like, where are you, do you mind giving us that information? Yeah. Oh, I don't hear it. Okay. Well, I have no idea how much this costs based on looking at the website. I wouldn't say it doesn't look cheap. It doesn't look bad. It's nice. Okay. Around 2K. To me, that's a selling point. To me, starting at 2K or whatever would be perfectly fine. Even if you're in a market where maybe the prices are a little lower, I honestly think that it's a selling point. And I think getting that in front of people and having packages. I'll always tell everyone, if you are not in the luxury market where you are selling only custom packages, the fastest way to sell weddings is to give a person options. Everyone does it, even car dealerships. When you go to, or car manufacturers, you go to their site and they'll have like this package, this package, this package. They have like a starting price, the MSRP. You don't really pay that price when you go to the dealership. And so I think for us I don't know why we're told this, but I'm telling you, if you want someone to fill that form out, that is the point of your website, is to get someone to fill the form out. And giving something like, if they like your work, which your work is very good, by the way, I don't know why they wouldn't, make it easy. So the last thing I'll look at is here. There's no contact on the work. There's no packages on the work. No offense. This page is pretty weak. It doesn't do the job. If someone's looking at my work, I want them giving me money as soon as possible, at least getting a hold of me. That's the whole point of this. So make it easy for them to give you money. Like, I would like to see this like 1, 2, 3, like in a row, and then say like packages directly below it. Something like that. But make it easy. Like a big button that calls out, like in sales strategy on websites, they're always talking about like giving people just something to grab onto. Every page should have a next step. Okay. So every page should have a next step for somebody. And I look at this and I don't really see a next step. That being said, you're really close. I don't want you, I'm going to be as honest and try to be as helpful as possible, but this is a good website. You did a great job and there's a lot to like. All the hard parts are there, man. Your work is good. I like your images, even your personality images on your About Me page. I can get a good sense of who you are. I think the brand doesn't really communicate who you are on the website. And I think if you had packages and prices, you would sell faster. And maybe a little help with your copy, but it's a good website. And I would say good job. But I will say those little things I mentioned, they go a long way. So now we're going to go down another list here. I'm going to look at motion videography. I am shocked that that URL was available. All right. So we got awards right away. It's a pretty site. It's kind of fun. Like sometimes I am not a huge fan of these like script fonts up here, but I think it's pretty readable and I think I'm okay with it. It seems like it reflects the brand too. You got that kind of goofy / fun. It's not goofy because it's not goofy. It's cool. A cool logo, laid back. Let's see. Does this go anywhere? All right. So this is a pet peeve of mine. As a web developer, if it looks like a button, it should be a button. Like this just says our toys. So I'm like, okay, my instinct was to click on it and look at your toys. And you don't have them. Right here you do. Are you, let's see. Do I have a name? I don't. If you're here from Motion, just speak up and say, hey. But that's cool. I don't like that, but that's cool. Maybe it's just like something wrong, but like the team, like who's the team? I want to look at them. I can't. All right. I can't read this right here. Does this work? Oh, okay. These are reviews. I have mixed feel. This is totally personal, by the way, and not at all something I'm recommending or telling people not to do. I'm personally not wild about putting reviews because I worked in the retail world, and like pretty much if it doesn't come from Google, I don't trust it or believe it. So take that with a grain of salt. I'm not crazy. I don't personally think a website needs reviews that you just add on in your back end, because I could just make them up. But that's me being a total cynic. So I don't like continuing this. I'll give you one critique. Outside of the menu up here, I don't think you should be having a font this hard to read on every single bullet. I think it's challenging. It just makes me work harder on the website than I want to work, because I'm freaking lazy when I'm on a website. So I would encourage you to just make it easy for people. So that's your homepage. And yeah, like even right here, say hello. Like, I'm not a fan of that language on a website. It's just it's for me, it's a little too casual. And is this where I inquire right here? If you're getting crazy amounts of leads, by the way, ignore this advice. But my opinion is I like clear communication on a website. So inquire, contact. That's my preference. Okay. It's a pretty page though. And I do think it reflects who you guys are and what your film. Yeah, there we go. I just clicked it. I'm like, what do their films look like? Yeah. That's what I was expecting. It's fun. And I think that's good. It's good when you have that experience. So again, this is again a place where I think it's fine. Like, I don't mind this presentation. I just don't like, it just doesn't sell hard enough. Like, I'm trying to figure, like when I'm on this page, I'm like, all right, great. Like, I want to be like scrolling down here. And like, when I look through the work and like, you love the work, click here to inquire. Like, there's no reason you can't have those buttons all over the place for people. Strike while the iron's hot. Daniela and Max. Is this who you are? Yeah, I think I would like that to say about us. Someone could, I think you maybe have to be a little bit of an idiot, but you maybe could think this is, Danielle and Max is one of their couples or whatever, but that's somewhat personal preference. Yeah, this doesn't look super elegant to me. Also, I will say this, center weighted paragraphs. It's not good. No spacing in your paragraphs. It's just, this could be a lot cleaner. The say hello thing. Cool. One thing to look at, and I didn't do it in the last two sites, so I apologize. I do like to look at people's forms, because what information you're collecting is pretty important. So let's do that from now on. I apologize for the other people, but your name, being careful to having just when you look at you don't want to have gender specific language on your form. I think everyone needs to be careful about that. I know our tendency is to say brides, but there's brides, there's grooms and grooms, there's brides and brides. So we want to be careful about being inclusive on our forms. Your name is fine, all those things, but it's not a thing you want to get into hot water with. Doesn't matter. Just make people feel included. Best email. Okay, that's great. Best number. When is this all going down? Yeah, I get it. It's fun. So, have you set a budget for your film? I personally, I don't know if you're getting good information off this. I don't really, to me, when I see that, I'm not imagining anyone. Like, I'm imagining this every time or that. Like, I like a drop down there to give a person, because not only, if you don't want to just put your prices out there, I think it's good for a person to not be able to pick a price lower than you want to work. Honestly, or you know, not way lower, maybe a little lower, but you don't want them to be able to like. I like a person walking into a sales call a little bit, having an idea of what they're getting into, and you, of course, knowing that they're potentially able to sell to you. And people are always like, oh, I had a person who said their budget was blah, and I got them to go to this. It's like, come on. You can't just say that. But then on the other hand, everyone's complaining about, oh, I had this bride call me and they were a budget bride. It's like, don't let them call you. Make them not want to call you if you're so worried about it. And I will tell you this, I've never had a bride who wanted to spend $500 who spent 500 times more than that. Like, and if they do, they're rare and they're not worth shooting for. So giving people some idea of what they're in for, I think is good. And that would be my preference there. Venue, hear about us. That's interesting there. A little bit of place where you can get them to get a little personality in there. So I like that. You know, kind words, these are reviews. Yeah, I mean, in general, like it's a fun website. I think it's a little too stylized and a little too committed to the motif. And just from a design standpoint, like look at all this font mashed up right here. It's just a lot. I feel like I need a little relief visually. Like I need like a nice serif font. And I would encourage you, your logo is this fun, like sans serif font, not serif font, by the way. I think a nice little hard modern sans serif font right here would really help make the balance of the design a little better. I do like this though, that you have embedded reviews for those of you that can do that. I think that's pretty cool that you actually have real reviews. So that's that site. How's everybody doing out there? What are you guys drinking? Like I said, I'm drinking some iced coffee. Because I love it. And I was like, this could be a long night. I love reviewing websites, by the way. So thank you guys for letting me do this. Let's look at Fitzgerald Films. Grant Fitzgerald. Grant, you here? We're going to look at your website. Copy the right one. I didn't. Did I? I didn't. That is not your website at all. We are going to look at that one, too, though. Productions. What's up, bro? All right. Fitzgerald Films. First thing I'll tell you, looking at this, is I'm not into that font. I am not into it at all. It looks like a free font from just a template builder. So I would say get a better one. The other thing I would say is I like the emblem a lot in your branding. Fitzgerald Films is cool looking, but I would say get the word Fitzgerald Films, get a horizontal version of that logo so people can see it, because I think having it actually on your slider doesn't do much. It looks bad, and I would say just fixing that would help a lot. I also think your image is popping up over, and maybe this is not for every browser, but if you notice right here, your image on your slider or whatever that is popping up over the menu, and then the image is also not full width for some reason. It's just center weighted and it's just sitting there. So I don't know if you have like gutters and whatnot that you can change, but I think you need is he here? Are you here, Fitzgerald Films? Oh yeah, there you are. Grant, how you doing, buddy? Can I ask you what this platform is? Where did you get this template and all that? And I'll give you one thing on the fonts. If you are a Adobe Creative Cloud subscription, they have a lot of great web fonts on their Adobe fonts. Oh, so this is Wix. Okay, so we install a good amount of Wix sites. Wix is a little tricky. It's not the best for video. You can do some good stuff with it, but I would encourage you maybe looking. Yeah, so you have Adobe. So the problem with Wix though is I think I don't know if you can. I forget if you can upload custom fonts on Wix. But anyway, Adobe has a bunch of fonts type kit where you can get free fonts. So yeah, I mean, I look at this and I really encourage you like to look at like a Squarespace. If you're like, Squarespace is great. It's a little on the pricier side, but it just always looks good and it's fast. There's a lot of like we do a lot of our sites in WordPress. So I would say that's like one rung above complexity of something like Squarespace. There's so many good tools. I'm sure guys in the list can give you a lot of great things. So I don't know. Okay. So anyway, let's not focus on the things you can't change, Grant. We'll focus on the things we can change. So we're going to give you my opinion. My opinion is this would look better if they were all caps up in your menu instead of uppercase words, but all capitalized. If you get rid of the word Fitzgerald Films, if you have someone fix your logo so that it says Fitzgerald Films to the right of that emblem, you know, this here is kind of a waste. You got a lot of depth going on here to get to the actual film. It's like, who cares? Who cares? Like, I want to see this. I want to see this. Like right when I get to your, I want to see the work as soon as I can. You know, I do like that inquires at the top though. Even down here, this is pretty nice looking, you know. All the meat is just too far down. So let's look at meat, Grant. Is that you, Grant? Or is that a good looking dude, my friend? So like this, I like this page a lot. Actually, it's cute, and I think you build a lot of trust with your language, telling your story. I think it's good. Sell. If you like this person, if you like me, come and work with me. Contact me. Here are my prices. Here, whatever it is, but like drive them to another step. It's a dead end. But I like the page minus that. Videography. Why is that pixelated? Don't like that. That could just be not your fault at all. Just a random thing. I would like some references to your investment, your pricing, or getting someone to make a purchase somewhere on this page. I do like that it says inquire. That's good. At least it has that. That could be much bigger, much bolder. Maybe add a pop color there, all caps. Get people to look at that. Get them to notice it. Your font is smaller on the word inquire than it is on Rachel F. Like your eye goes right to Rachel F. It's like, who's Rachel? Who cares? You know, photography. Yeah. Okay. Whatever. I like this page, man. And I like that you have it. I'll always, this is so easy to me. This should be some reference. Get somebody on meet on all your pages. Also, you don't have a homepage button. That's weird. Yeah, you got to get a homepage button. Like how do I get back? So, but I like this page, man. And you did something right that I think is going to help you a lot. I would just encourage you work from smallest to biggest, not from biggest to smallest when you're doing your arrangement. It's a little weird, but regardless, it's very clear. I feel like you have this strong page right here. My opinion is the word investment should be struck from the record book of, I did click the logo, by the way, just so you know. It did not work. Click. Especially on something like this. Investment is when it's really expensive, right? And you're trying to convince a person to spend the money. This is not really expensive. This is a very affordable product. And I think you're selling something that a lot of people would want at a price a lot of people can afford. So in my opinion, packages or pricing would be a better word on your homepage. But yeah, it's good. and probably I think it needs some polish. And I think if I was you, I might get a little help because the work looks pretty solid. And I honestly think this website might cost you some money. So I think you should feature good work in a better way. So we're going to look at visionary weddings. There's somebody who's been on the show before. We've never reviewed their website. So let's do that. Visionary weddings. Ooh. We've discussed this logo before in the forums. So I like this website. It's very elegant looking. You know what I like about it? It reminds me of a photographer's website. Everyone knows I love photographers' branding and sales. And to me, this does a pretty good job. So we got films about Ethan, Q&A, interesting. Collections, contact, blog. Great. What we don't want is the empty content problem, by the way. If any of these pages, I will dock it in my mind if any of them have like no content. So sometimes I see people who have blogs and I'm like, let's see if these people blog. Let's do it. We're on the blog test. All right. How old though? How old? When was this blog published? It doesn't have a published date, you sneaky man. Okay, good. So you didn't do the thing where you put a blog on there when you first released the website 4 years ago and then never realized that people don't want to see a 4-year-old blog on your website. Doesn't look good. So this looks good. So let's go back to the homepage. So we got this image, pretty cool image. I think that would look better in motion. So if you can, I honestly think like if this was moving and this was a video, it would look way better. This homepage would be way better. But I like all the branding, boutique wedding filmmaker. He's telling you, he's communicating this idea that he's exclusive, and that's important to him. About Ethan, contact Ethan. Hi, I'm Ethan. I love dirty chives and buying way too much plants for my office. My wife too. I'd love to hear your plans and vision for your wedding day. So he's got this casual communication style. There we go. Here's the work. I feel like this should be up there, the top. With 7 years, 160 weddings, view more films. What makes me different? So a lot of reading. It's a nice looking homepage though, good color scheme. I mean, like, I don't think anybody would see this and be like, oh, this is dumb. I think that a couple that you were talking to would enjoy that homepage. So, that looks cool. This is just my opinion. I don't know if I'm right here. Some things I'll say, I'm like, I feel like I'm pretty certain right on this. I wonder if this would be better if you just got rid of this section and just immediately hit them with I just wonder that because the work looks good. It's well branded. And I feel like I just want to see it higher up and, maybe this below it, but that's a minor thing. So I'm curious about if you ever talk about I'm assuming that's in collections. I think in films, if we had somewhere on here that said like, so you got the investment thing, which is probably, so sometimes you call it collections, sometimes you call it investment. My opinion is that this should say CR collections or something. I think that might be a little more clear, although I like that it's here and all that. It's good. Collections, let's see how they do it. Do 22 extremely limited. I like that. I like that you just told people we are limited. Nothing will make someone buy something more than thinking that they might not be able to buy it. So elopement collection, full day collections, multi-day collections. All right. See, I feel like this is a little unclear, and I like the way it's broken down in a way, right? Elopement, full day, multi-day. I'm just not one who's like everything should be custom. I'm to enough planners, and like I think like this idea of like not having a clue what you're getting would be good. And so I know you're willing to talk about it because you mentioned over here, like we film in this. Coverage times are available in 20, 30, 25 your hours. This one includes a cinematic highlight. I would like to see what is included under these in bullet form. I think that would help me a lot. I think that's my only criticism. If I could see these, what was included in these in bullet form, it would help me. And maybe that's not on brand and maybe I'm wrong, but my opinion is just, I'd like to see a bulleted list of what comes with each one. Cause I think it's pretty good. It's solid. At the end, it says contact. I mean, it's a good website. I would say good job, Visionary Weddings. It's a nice website. And I think if you're a little more, my critique is there's some dead space. Maybe we can tighten up and really, really, really fat homepage. I don't know that hurts you, but I doubt people are really looking at it. So if there's important information on there, you might want to think about rearranging it on the site. And then I think your collections might be better served if those collections were having a bulleted list of what people are actually getting, because it is in there. It's just kind of like positioned weirdly all throughout, and it's in different orders and all this stuff in the paragraphs, and it might be a little cleaner. But it's good. It's a good site. Next person we're going to look at is DeLuca Film. It's not copying. How's everybody doing over there? Out in the interwebs. What are you guys doing tonight? Okay, so 4,000. What is that? Yeah, Visionary. I don't think you should put your prices on there. I just think you should include. How you doing, Michael? I think you should just include what, like, it should say like one highlight film, 10 hours of coverage, like bulleted list of the deliverables and what someone's going to buy. I think you can do prices or not do prices. I think the website sells that you are expensive. I think anyone looking at that site is not thinking, oh, this is a budget product. Yeah. So yes, we are doing website critiques. So that's what we're doing. DeLuca Films. All right. Hey, James is here. James, we did your website. I'll do your film after we do this. Okay. Immediately love this. First of all, great skin tone. Or fun, that's just a cool color. This site's awesome. Okay. Great font, great logo, home, about, films, contact. Let's see if it sells hard. When I see these beautiful websites, my one fear is that they just go full artist mode and they forget to sell you anything. So it's like, look at all the beauty. Agreed. It is beautiful. We capture your amazing love. All right. So homepage review. Welcome to DeLuca Films, creating beautiful films for the most beautiful souls. Okay. You're getting a sense. It's got a little feminine vibe, but it's, who we are. Windsor, Ontario. I bet it's beautiful over there. I always will say, I wonder if I could see your work. Can I turn this down? Can't forward it. Yeah. I don't like the video player. I don't like a video player I can't skim, turn the volume down. Like, I don't like that. But, okay, send us an email, view our collections, book a meeting. This is cool. They're not buttons, so I don't like that. I really don't. I like how it looks. I hate how it functions. So in web design, we have like a user interface and the user experience, and they're really connected inherently, which is like the interface affects the UX in a really, really real way. And like if someone gets here and you caused like a moment of frustration or not knowing what to do, but I do like that you tell people at the bottom of our collection page, because apparently you're aware it doesn't work. So, but it's pretty looking. So I want to look at this home or about us. That's fun. It's a great page. Meet our team. Yeah, I mean, this is a great page. You're kind of going through the team, and then of course you got your reviews. I think it'd be nice if you could see these people's films. When you see that they're saying all this nice stuff about you, I think I'd like to see the films. But I like the page a lot. It really does a lot of communicating your brand, communicating who you are, and I think that makes couples feel trusted or like they can trust you. So films, dive into our stories while sipping on that Pinot Grigio. All right. These are good. These are good. So again, I'm trying to find where I can learn about what you sell. So, and just so you know, I'm moving around fast because I'm trying to move around the way I think a couple would. Like a lot of people, I think the average time on a website is like 8 seconds. So people are just like, oh, they're scrolling around. They're not careful. So I'm kind of trying to be a little bit like how they are. So it seems to me you don't have any information on your pricing, any information on your packages or anything. And if it's working for you, great. But if you're not getting as many inquiries as you want, I think making it easier for someone to move towards a sales process, I think is really good. Even if it's all custom, right? Okay, let's imagine that my particular design for websites and kind of pushing you towards a decision as quick as possible is not for everyone. Because it's true, it's not. Okay, well, tell me a little bit about what the experience is going to be like. How do I start booking you? You don't mention to someone like, well, what's the process? Well, first, like on the films page, I think on the home page it mentions it. So let's look at that again. Right here. Okay, send us an email, view our collections, book a meeting, right? This right here needs to say something like our process, and in which case I think it should be a page on your website, our process. And this entire section should be like, if you have packages, I think you should just put them on the site. I don't think you have to put all your prices, but you should put packages and deliverables. What kind of films do you make? Blah, 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 blah. If you don't, which a lot of people don't, and they're all custom, then I think you need to sell your process, because that's what the sale is, right? And so I think I look at this page and I'm like, I think what I would fix more than anything is taking this, send us an email, view our collections, book a meeting, kind of make sure that's the process you want someone to do, and maybe make a on your website that says our process, and a person can just go they're very quickly like guided through, how do I make a purchase with these guys and what is it going to be like? Because everyone needs to realize someone filling out your contact form is a major commitment. Like, be realistic about how much you fill out a contact form and how often you don't, because you're not sure. I want to remove every barrier possible to make you not fill out my contact form, because I feel like if Jared can get on the phone with you, he's going to sell you a wedding. And so when I look at this, and it's like, it's just a little more obtuse than I think it ought to be. And it has to be, because it's a beautiful website. The work is beautiful. And I think that's my only real critique is, like, if you could make it a little easier and you highlight it's boutique, it's an experience, right? That's the sale. So does that make sense? Does that make sense? Whoa, that's a lot of writing. Yeah, he says, I really need to invest in an investment page. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I think there's a lot of ways to do it. You can say our process. You just got to get a person to make a commitment and understand what it's going to be like, and blah, 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 blah. Man, hey, I was thinking about WPPI today, by the way. Anybody here go to WPPI? WPI people? Last year at this point, we were there having a good time in Vegas. So I miss that. Looking at a couple more websites. So we got Mist and Moss. Actually, let's do a film. We're going to do James Turner's film. You still here, James? I'm all tangled up. So let's check out James' film. So this is James made this film. He's Optimal Focus Media. This is a film, R5 film, 4K 60 all day. A little bit of gimbal, and yeah, it's one of these films. Let me know if this audio is too loud or whatever, but nope, it's not on at all. Oh, I figured out the problem. I'll restart it.
The day we've talked about for years is finally here. I never understood when people would say that they found the person they wanted to spend the rest of their life with. You've shown me that it isn't something immediate. It happens when a person grows into every aspect of your life, to the point that you can't imagine life without them. When I first met you, the thing that I remembered the most was your ability to love the people around you, and I knew that I needed you in my life.
You're bringing heaven down to earth. A symphony in every word. You're bringing heaven down to earth. Bringing me everything. Bringing me everything.
So as you become my wife today, I promise not to change you from the person I...
So I want to look at something really quick. This happens a good amount in this film, and it's not entirely your fault, James. It's just, maybe this is just personal preference, but when I see a combination exposure like that, you're going to obviously have combination white balances as well in the frame. My opinion is like, I would rather push the highlights a little orange and get the dress white than have the dress be blue like that. And I've seen it I see it in a lot of filmmakers where they get their white balance and it's all for the part. And it is tough too, because your eyes are immediately drawn to the background too. Maybe shooting that on a different side or something like that. I mean, that's tough. I don't know the control you had on the environment, so I'm not critical of it, but it just immediately I'm looking at that blue dress and I really want to see a nice warm dress and, you know, warm skin tones, and that's just my opinion. That's what I see. So
fell in love with. I will always do my best to make sure your happiness and our marriage comes first, no
like that. That's beautiful. Yeah.
matter the circumstances. I promise to be your best friend, to make you love life, and to make the most of all the laughter and tears we'll share together. I promise to grow alongside you and to love you more every day. Today's the beginning of something much bigger than just ourselves.
Go back a little bit. And there's a weird noise coming, so if you hear it, just pretend like you don't. So a shot like this, I feel like you got put in a lot of bad situations too, lighting wise. So I get that. I would like to. You don't hear the film. You don't hear it. Nobody hears the film. How is that possible? Can you hear my voice? It's coming through the same device, so it doesn't make any sense. Turn it up. Oh, you don't hear the noise. Okay, good. Great. So anyway, you got this right here, like you're just seeing people's backs, and I really think it would have been better if it would have been on a tripod, or you just kind of stayed still and not tried to do all this motion, because yeah, there's some information that's just kind of, it's not ideal. So I would like to see more of a profile or someone's face or something like that, and not just a spin and mostly just her back.
Every day. Today's the beginning of something much bigger than just ourselves. Thank you for your love and friendship and happiness you brought into my life.
That's cool, dude. It's a cool looking shot.
I love you, Caitlin.
Sean, I'm not sure where to begin, so I'll start with thank you. Thank you for being my true comfort. No matter what happens, what I'm going through, or even what I'm over-exaggerating about, I know I can always come to you. When with one hug, my worries instantly fade. You're my sense of home, and I'm so thankful.
We talked about this last week. This is the reading the letters thing. He's reading her letter, and there's no context to it. You're not showing them reading the letter. This is just a tip. You don't have to do it, but I mean, Jared talks about it a lot. I think I agree with him. My preference is to have people read the letter they wrote for their spouse, and not have people read as their spouse. I think it's a little confusing for the film. And if you have to, if there's just something happens where that just ends up being what happens, to me, it looks better when instead of like in the film, you show them reading the letter. So at least the person knows they're not just saying like a man saying, when I have your baby or something, that's a storytelling critique.
I'm so excited to begin this new chapter of life with you as husband and wife. I truly believe it was the work of God that put you in my life because you are everything I was looking for.
This is another example where your your white balance, I think, is a little cool for it's because you got this combination. Because I don't think it would look that bad if those trees were a little orange with that light back there, and the dress was like nice and white. I think that would look nicer.
And I needed. I promise to build a family with you that we are proud of, and I promise to remain not only your wife but your best friend. I love you more than I loved you yesterday, and nothing compared to what I will love you tomorrow. You're my rock, my one true constant. I can't wait to build a family with you and watch you turn into the most amazing father. You make me happier than I know how to put into words, and I'm so...
That's a slow-mo kiss that I would have liked to see less slow-mo. It's just, let's see how, I mean, it's like, that this kiss
You're my
takes,
rock, my one true constant. I can't wait to build a family with you and watch you turn into the most amazing father. You make me happier than I know how to put into words.
Again, he was saying she's going to turn into a father. And then also it's an 8-second long kiss. And so to me, I would have made that either normal speed or just cut to some of it or something. It's a little long. And then I noticed this when I was watching this before. I don't know if James, are you here still, James? So yeah, James. So I had a question here. Did something happen when they were walking down the aisle that you just cut?
I'm so thankful I get to call you my husband in a few short hours. I love you, Shawn Michael.
Right here. So like the motion part of the shot you didn't include. My opinion is like this would be better in full speed, 24 seconds. And I'd like to see a little of them walking down the aisle and maybe locking lips or whatever. Just in general, when I see the frame, this little sequence, I feel like either you bumped into someone or you didn't like your shot, but it's kind of like arms in the air and then, arms in the air and then they're just suddenly kissing. I would like to see them moving a little bit and a little, pick up the pace a little bit. Nice shot though.
Yeah, you're bringing heaven down to earth.
Beautiful.
You're bringing heaven down to earth. Bringing me everything. Bringing me everything.
My opinion, this is my style of editing. I like to get like a money shot like this and a couple of those good money shots early in the film because this is a commercial for your brand. And like, I wonder if you want to try that sometime instead of like just linearly cutting through the film, but like front loading it with some money shots. Like a cool shot like this is a cool drone shot right here. And then some of those sunset shots, it's really nice stuff. And so this is a good shot. We got this song again.
It goes lights, camera, action when I step into the limelight. Easily adapted to the high life. Dressed to impress like it's prom night. And when you live in top shelf, you know you gotta set the bar high. Had the same dreams since we was kids. Big trips, big cars, and even bigger cribs. Never thought that it would happen just the way it did. Fast forward that now, it's just the way we live. That's good food and drinks. My mood makes you think that this life's made for a king.
Little dark.
The room starts to shake, so smooth if you blink, you might just miss the whole thing. It's just a different way to move within the heart. So many different things to do within the heart.
Yeah, you can see, like you mentioned, you're having trouble with the blue hues. I would just push that blue into the orange a little bit, man. I think it would be nice. Yeah, I think you're not crazy far off.
That's good food and drinks. My mood makes you think that this life's made for a king. So many different things to do within the heart.
That's kind of a weird musical transition there. A little, yeah, it could have been a little smoother. I would say it was kind of abrupt. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but just something I noticed.
And so I'm told, dreaming is what keeps you from growing old. Still the same kid sitting on the couch, pretending that I got it all figured out. Like, oh, we got this. It's gonna be something. We don't know where we're going, but I don't really care. I go out all night, we watching the sunrise. I ain't got no worries, cause I got you right here. I can't be happier than I am right now, than I am right now. I can't be happier than I am right now, than I am right now.
So I'm looking at this sequence and like, I'm wondering about like, James, do you mind telling me what package did you sell them? How long was this film supposed to be? I know there's a little bit of a delay, so, but yeah. And how long is this film supposed to be, James? I'm gonna write. Let's see what he says, I should ask that one right away. Because it matters, you know. It looks like 6 to 7 minutes. Okay. Wondering about the pacing of this section. It feels like you were trying to drag a lot of clips out, and because the clips are, the song is like bah, 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 it's popping, right? It's a good song, and then the cuts are really slow and the moves are really slow. So I wonder about that. Did you feel like you were kind of running out of footage? I mean, I've been there, by the way. So, but do you feel like you were kind of running out of footage in this film? I think that's a question I have.
We got sunshine, we got all we need. What a blessing, I got you here with me. We got sunshine, we got all we need. What a blessing, got you here with me.
This is a kind of a missed opportunity right here. Right here. This has to hit. Well, this next shot, right when that crescendo, got me here with me, you know, you hit that thing. This next shot's got to be dope. It's got to be baller. It's got to be like, it's the party, start for real. And we're kind of like, the edit point is a little late. And then I think it's just like, who cares about that guy? Like, let's hit something like Make me feel something. Give me some fun. James, can I ask you, is this a fake lens flare right here? Or yeah, lens flare. Is that fake or is that real? I'll wait for you to answer. Well, while this is going out, but this lens flare. Me thinks it's fake because that's a real one. The real one comes, but it doesn't change in size or anything. It just stays in the same position. But maybe I'm wrong. Okay. Yeah, interesting. Flared, kind of funny. So, you know, a lot to like in the film, James. So here's what I'd say. First and foremost, I'm gonna just make some assumptions about the day. And you tell me if I'm right or wrong. Seems like the location had some nice parts, but it was a little challenging. You didn't get to choose your time when you shot with them. They were kind of just doing stuff midday, high sun. Like there were some challenging environments that you were shooting in. I think really what you're dealing with is combination white balances. So there's a couple places that we saw this, and you're getting ready footage. That's so nice looking right there. Look how nice this light is. Beautiful. But here, new thing. Sorry, I'm scrolling. Right here. This would look like this is tough, man. Like this is a tough thing. And it seems like you had a lot of challenging environments like this. And so when I look at something like this, I go, okay, I got a window right there. Could I get her near this window? Because you're never going to be able to compete with that sunlight. And then you got that ugly orange light, yellow, green, whatever gross color that ceiling light is. Could you get those lights off and could you get near a window? Could you get that shot in there? Maybe that might have helped a lot. I think just in general, James, it looks like you're like when you get into a situation where you're dealing with two colored lights and two different white balances, maybe that's a little bit of a struggle to you. And I would always just say, like, my personal method is defer to the subjects, make them look good. And if the background's a little weird, that's just my personal opinion. Yeah, I mean, maybe have her sit on the couch though, that's what I'm saying, James. Maybe have her sit there and maybe, just plan a shot, get something dope looking out of it. But it seems like there's that a couple times. So in terms of cinematography, you got some shots. There's a lot of motion going on in the film, and maybe that's your style. It's not necessarily always my favorite, but there's a lot of motion. I think a little bit of more lockdown, focus on composition could help. Storytelling, it's pretty solid. Minus, I don't love the whole thing I mentioned before about the bride or the groom reading as the bride, and it was a little confusing. I would have liked to see footage of that from a story standpoint. But I do think like you got a sense of who the couple was and what they were like, and so I think that's good, and I think they probably loved it, and I think it did the job. I don't have criticism of the story. The editing, it could be a lot tighter, and one of the things I'll look at is like song choice, kind of. I think the first song is very good for this couple. The second song, and the third song, I just didn't think worked for the day. Maybe it's just, I get the challenges here, by the way. Was this a COVID wedding, James? Yeah, I mean, these weddings are tough and it's hard to get the content we're used to getting. And so I have a hard time being too critical of people's reception footage nowadays. So, it is what it is, but I feel like that last song, it just wasn't popping because there wasn't the footage to support the song. I don't know what to tell you there. Maybe you could have edited a little differently. Maybe you could have shot it a little differently. During these COVID weddings, I'm finding that I'm using a lot more tighter shots during the dancing because I don't want to just draw attention to the fact that the dance floor is empty. That's just my opinion, and how I do think I know there's a reason, which is a party that no one's dancing at doesn't look fun. It looks weird. So we have to cover that up. So I think that's my only thing with the edit is like it kind of lost steam towards the end. And I could tell like the shots that really inspired you. And then you're like, oh crap, I got to do this ending part. That's tough though. Like, I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all. These are challenging. So it's good work, man. And do you mind, did you mention your price in the chat somewhere? Yeah. And $2,100 is a steal. I mean, great. It's great value. And I think, you're just going to get better. You're just going to charge more. So good work, man. And so you had a question about the website, James. Let me see what Jared sent it over my way. While I'm looking up that, Jared, I'm going to bring you on. What did you think about the film?
Yeah, I thought the film was good. I was going to say, James, it felt like, and I've been in a situation the same way, because I think the way that we film weddings a lot of times is like kind of letting the photographer lead, letting the photographer be kind of like the person that has right away to direct the couple. And I felt like I saw a lot of situations that maybe like a photographer is giving lead to the couple as far as lighting situation goes.
Yeah.
And so that's a tough situation. I think when you're in that price point, a lot of times people are, a little less experienced on the photographer side. So they're struggling with their lighting and they're kind of having the right of way. They're the ones setting them up and, staging where the first look is going to happen. And so as I think you start doing more and more weddings, figuring out how to not manipulate the photographer, but give recommendations like, oh, the background's kind of like the first look, the background was pretty blown out. And I was like, I wish it, because I saw in other shots the way the house was. And I was like, that would have been nice light at that time of day. Like you're shooting, a lot of times we're shooting the first look at like noontime or like 1 or 2 or 3
or something. Yeah.
When the light's super high in the sky, that's a really hard time to shoot. So finding a background that has like, a little bit of more contrast and that light, that super bright backdrop, that's essentially your key light, right? So by putting it on the other side, you're going to get nice, even light on the couple as opposed to, a super blown out backdrop, and you have what's called color contrast. So it's going to be like hitting the couple really nice. And then the background is probably going to be some darker trees. So they're going to pop out a lot more. So there are some things like that, like little things that, I think can be worked on and like manipulating the photographer a little bit to be like, what do you think on this side? So it's not as blown out in the background. Saying things like that, I think can sometimes help you to get the kind of shots that you're looking for.
Yeah, I think you touched on something really important. If you are a filmmaker, we always say like, hey, be nice to photographers. There's no reason to cause conflict. But if you're a filmmaker, learning how to ask for what you want from the couple, from the photographer, from the venue, from the planner, like from the people in the room, can we turn the lights off? Like it can be intimidating. But I think it's really the difference between like a great film and a fine film, we that's a big thing. So I think, getting some confidence, James, to get what you want. It comes with time, but like, don't be afraid to be like, hey, this is really blown out. Do you mind if we do blah? And like have that conversation. Cause they're not going to be like, screw you. How dare you? If you're nice about it, they're going to be like, oh yeah, what works? That's, my experience, Jared.
No, totally. And I find sometimes even like it's one reason why I love a 70 to 200 millimeter lens too, is you can kind of work around the couple and find your light because you only have to find a smaller, portion of light that works really well. I really liked those one like dynamite shots of the bride with that backlight.
Yeah, it was so dope.
It looks awesome. Like that's your ideal light, right? During a portrait session, having good backlight gives her like a nice hair light.
Yeah, look at this.
And it's gonna be super soft on her face. And I was gonna say about the shot, this is dynamite. She is a little bit blue.
She's blue.
You look at her dress, she's a little bit blue. If you warm it up just like a touch, that thing's gonna shine, man. That looks awesome.
Nobody's like, oh, that light was too warm and inviting.
Yep.
Like,
I agree.
So it's good. Yeah. Good job, James. There's a lot of stuff to like, and you're good, man. You're gonna only get better.
Yeah, dude. Great film though.
Yeah, Justin Herrera. Yeah, submit a film. Jared will post the link in the chat for a film submission, which maybe is in, but yeah, submit a film and we'll do that next week. We got a few more websites. I'm gonna just shred through these websites, guys, because I really do want. So, but while we're sitting here, I want to tell you guys about today's sponsor. We got the YOLO box. YOLO box. If you have not used this thing, it's really cool. But you know, one of the things I never talk about the YOLO box, it actually has like an SD card in it, and it'll actually record your program out. So whatever is in your program, it'll record it on H.264 files, which it doesn't record ISOs, but it records whatever you're cutting. And so that's a nice little like backup thing. If you're live streaming a wedding and you want to make your cuts as you're watching it, and then you want to just, something goes wrong or something, or you want to just give the couple their ceremony as a file, this thing will record it for you, which is kind of cool. It is like a switcher, a live streamer, 2 HDMI inputs, 1/8 inch audio input. It's got a USB-C for, I think that's just for the charging, but you got a USB 3.0 to run like a, say you wanted to do like a USB camera. And man, this thing is just great. 4G, all that stuff. Link in the bio if you want to get one. It's cool. And yeah, I mean, what do you want to know about it, Kyle? I'll tell you anything you want to know about the YOLO box. It's a cool device. So let's look at a film. So let's look at a website. Okay, so we got Mist and Moss. So this is an interesting thing because, and I don't know how I feel about it. You know, here, let's do this. I want to buy type luxury wedding film. Can you sell? Okay. All right, Chad. Touche. You got me. So, all right. So here we are, homepage. We got this chat right here, which is interesting. And yeah, I mean, I'm actually curious. Like, I don't love how it looks, but I'm curious if it works. Like, and so definitely if you're here, let us know if people actually use that thing, because that's interesting. I don't see a lot of films like that. It might, if it works, like, and couples like it. I mean, that's interesting. And let me know if that's a plugin or what platform this is on, because that's cool. So I like the logo a lot here. You got about, you got films, you got info, you got contact, you got schedule a call. Okay, that's an interesting thing because you're telling people I prefer a phone call. That's interesting. New Morning is more than just a day. Watch trailer. I'd like to see a couple more films there. We are husband and wife wedding filmmakers. Love that. And like, you're just getting us with that beautiful boy. So cute. Your love is beautiful. We got a bunch of stuff on here. Watch our films. Yeah, I mean, the homepage is solid. The only thing I'll say about this would probably be better if your branding at the top and your menu items were black, probably. Maybe, I don't know. Sometimes they get lost in some of that, so probably not a big deal, actually. About, okay, we got who you are. Got a little bit of info about you guys. Okay, schedule a call. And if you're here, guys, and you have some specific questions about the website, by the way, pop in and ask them, and I will give you specific feedback. So info. This is, my opinion, a weak page. Sorry, I turned that annoying noise off. This is a weak page because really what you're trying to, it's either investment, packages, pricing, like our process, like I think any of those would be better than info. When I look at info, I go, okay, what the heck is info? Like, isn't info here? Isn't this info? It's all info. So no, I think something specific of like a little more salesy, a little more driving to the point at home would be good. Mr. Moss, we understand the investment you're making in your day. Your wedding film is one of the few things you get to take with you that will stay with you forever. How it works. Okay. So I like that you're walking people through the process here. Okay. Yeah. I mean, my criticism is even more so, right? You have a collection details, and then it doesn't actually have collection details. So this to me would be a very unsatisfying experience if I was a couple, because I'd go to this, like, first of all, info doesn't take me where I want to go. And then when I get there, I see collections starting at 4,000. Okay. You gave me something to go off. This should be bigger. This should be bigger. And then I'm going to go, okay, let me view the collection details. This is not collection details. This is a contact form. My question is, why don't you have collection details? Is there a reason? If there is a reason, if there is a reason, then it should be obvious on the website. If there isn't a reason, then why not just provide them? My opinion is it would be better if you provided people with if you provided. Oh, by the way, this opened a new page. Oh, you guys aren't even seeing this. Okay, hold on a second. I'm going to show you guys what you should be seeing, because it opened a new window. So this is the window that it opens. Ugh, darn it. It opens. This is the window that it opens. Right here. When you click on see our collections, it opens this window. And to me, like, if I clicked on see our collections and I saw this, I would be like, that is not what I would expect to see when I click on see our collections. I would expect to see information about them. So my opinion is, having a collections page on your website would help a lot. And explaining to people what they get when they get their films. I'm just not in favor of like not having any explanation whatsoever of either what the process is like or whatever. And so getting to see some of what a person would get always feels good to me. But again, I always say this: if you're selling and people are using your site the way that you want them to, if you're getting tons of inquiries and people are filling it out, then like forget what I'm saying. It doesn't matter what I'm saying. This is my opinion of it. Maybe I'm always imagining like there's a problem to be fixed. If there's no problem to be fixed, and it's working, great. I'm just trying to think the way I would feel as a customer. So it's just a thing to think about. I'm going to look at another website, but good job. Your work is very nice as well, by the way. So we're going to look at Red Kite Video. And these ones, I'm going to do probably like 2 more, and then we'll put the other people. I apologize if I don't get to it. How's everybody doing out there? Hopefully this isn't too boring for you guys. I'm grinding it out, trying to get these films. Okay, Red Kite Video. So let's go through the menu. Home, about us, our work, blog, investments, back. Okay, I like the menu already. This to me is not nice looking. This is weird looking, man. It's cutting off. I have no criticism. I have no problem whatsoever telling you just delete this thing. Just forget about it. You don't need it. Just get to this work. I mean, I think having 2 bits of work would be like 3 videos would be great, but I like the menu up here, so that's great. Strong menu. About us. Okay, we got Brandon. Oh, this is Brandon. How you doing, buddy? Yeah, man, this is a it's interesting. I just don't like the way this thing is like center weighting the page content, and it's just like What the heck? Thank you for the text, Jared. I apologize, guys. The screen share thing seems to be freezing. I'm going to redo it. There you go. Sorry about that, bro. I'll go back. So we got this great website. Don't like this thing right here was what I was saying. I don't like. Can you guys see it now? Everything good? Thumbs up, Jared. Now it should be working. There we go. So then what I was talking about was this right here. So go back to the homepage. The menu is very strong. Tells people what I don't love. We are space. It's kind of, this looks kind of weird, but you know, I like this, but this is what I was talking about. What platform is this on? Let me know about that. But the way this cuts off and you can like see everyone's words cut off, I would just delete this unless you can get a web developer who can fix it for you, make it like actually big enough, but also put this below my work. A lot of people think, I need to show people that I've worked with other people and that they had a good time. But I think if you just show people lots of good, that will tell the same story. So about us. Okay, this is who you guys are. What are you guys into? Working out. I love Rick and Morty. I love Rick and Morty. What are you into? You know, deep passion for cooking. What do you like to cook? What's your food? But you know, this is a solid page, of course. Our work. Okay, I can feel this. Okay, and they go full screen. Great. So a lot of work there, which is great. And when you click it, it goes full screen. And let's see. And you can shoot, bro. Yeah, and the only thing I'll say about your page is like the work looks better than the website. You know, the work looks better than the website. The work is nicer than the website. And you might want to get this a little more elevated. You know, working with a branding person to give this a more elevated look, I think would help you because the work it's looking on the more upscale side. I would like to see a giant button on this page somewhere that is like, you know, love what you see, you know, investment, or just like if I'm looking at your work, you need to get that person to see that investment button. Blog. Let's see. Did you pass the test? When was it published? So I'm not, maybe this is my browser. Oh, there it is. Okay. So here's my thing. I would just say, like, get rid of the blog off your site if you're not going to keep it updated. Because when you see like 8-month-old, 7-month-old blogs, it just doesn't really like, or the other tip is if you're going to have them and like, maybe you just want to use them as like blogs sometimes on ours that we use to send couples information, like to talk long form content. When you have it, just delete that. Find a way to get rid of the date so that it doesn't date your content, and then it doesn't really matter. So that'd be my only thing is just get rid of the dates on these blogs. So that way it's evergreen content and doesn't really matter. Investment. Yeah, man, this is a great page. You need to get this in front of people. Like your homepage, you should be able to get here. Your work, you should be able to get here. Like everything is about this page. Also your diamond package is too cheap, but your increments are just like, you see what you're getting. That's pretty close. What are you getting? You're getting tons more for barely any more money. So anyway, that's just my opinion, but the page is good. It very, very well communicates exactly what they get. I mean, this is great, man. Like you need to get this in front of people. This is a selling point. And like, I personally think it might do better if you said packages or something like that. But on our work, you need to give people I would encourage you, go check out the Stop Go Love website. Cause I feel like it's close. We have a similar format. I'm going to show you guys Jared's baby. Jared's baby. It's a cute baby.
It is.
There you go. So sorry, Jared, what is that person saying? What you think about displaying the prices of the packages? Get them to explain their question a little more and I'll answer it. But I like this because I think if you get in front of these people with this, it will help you sell because the work is really good. And if people saw this, they'd be like, oh, this work, this price, this is good. You know, and I know a lot of people think that I'm just telling you what we do, by the way. Like we do this and we sell lots of weddings. And so if you want to sell a lot of weddings, you know, and you do good work as well. So they were saying, what is my opinion on showing prices? Okay. My opinion is, and we can go back to this. My opinion is that you should show prices if it's a sales tactic. And if it's something that turns people off, if you have to pitch them and get them to spend more, like LaRev should not show prices. Bottle Brush should not show prices, but they're selling a different thing. Most of us should at least show a starting at price. And I think if you have the courage and you feel like it works, like we show all our prices, you know, we show all our prices because we want to filter out people who maybe it's just not a good fit for them. They don't have the budget. And that's not a criticism of those people because, you know, we're very much, we understand not everyone can afford everything, but yeah, that my opinion is like, there's a time and a place. And I like showing prices, for a lot of people. And I think more people should do it. I will say that more people should show their prices and be proud of them and think of their price as a selling point and not as a detracting point. So we're going to move on. Brandon, hopefully that was helpful. Really.
Hey, Jay, if I could just add on to that point about pricing, like we do add pricing to our website. And I think it's pretty important to our sales tactic. Like I honestly, hang on one second. I honestly can't think, like I talk to brides every single day and I have so many people tell me, thank you so much for posting pricing on your website because X, Y, and Z don't. And the reason why I stopped with you guys was because I was on your website for much longer, looking at your pricing, comparing options. Like I talked to some other videographers, had long conversations with them, and I decided that you guys were probably a better option. And honestly, I don't want to have another conversation with 3 more videographers to just find out what the pricing is. So I definitely think it's a sales tactic for us. Like Jay said, I don't think it's for everyone. If you're looking to be like a high-end wedding filmmaker and
you actually are, not if you just feel like you want to be.
yeah. Most people in here, you know, we're probably still learning. But I feel like if you are thinking that you want to get into that world, I would say don't price your pricing online, or don't put your pricing online, because the people that you're working with don't really care about money. Like if you're working with planners or whatever, don't post your pricing because you can just upsell those people. But a lot of people, I would say 80-90% of the time, are going to have to be budget conscious, and so they're looking for pricing on the website. And I think we use it to our advantage because a lot of people don't put pricing on their website. So I would just
think about human psychology, which is like, if I don't like it when I'm buying a car, why would you like it when you're buying a wedding? Right? So be as helpful as possible is our philosophy. Okay, we're going to look at a couple more. And then we're going to peace out. All right. So, and thank you so much for hanging out tonight, guys, by the way. I mean, hopefully this is helpful to people. We're going to look at broductions. So, man, I don't want to make fun of this because I don't know where the environment you're in, but I look at the name Broductions and it just doesn't feel very wedding-y, man. Like it sounds like it just, so I mean, when I see that, I immediately think like this needs some branding help in a big way. Even that image right there, that's not a good image for your homepage. Two people's backs. So, but let's look at the site, because we're doing a site review. So, but my first thing at your site is the image is not very strong, and get a good image, get people's faces, show a better image. Like this image right here is a better image. Like, you know, just show people what they want to see. They want to see brides, they want to see grooms. But I do like that your packages are showing up. I will say this, there's a couple rules in sales. Give people bullets. They will read. People read in bullets. This is way too much writing. Just shred this down. Give people bullet points. Nobody wants to read this crap. Like, they just want to see bullet points. What am I getting? Make it easy. Make it easy for people. So, but I like that the way you have it organized. I like that it's right on your homepage. I mean, there's a lot to like there. So these are like, get a better image there. That'll make a big difference. Your work is right there. That's great. Your package is right there. That's great. Make them bullets, and I think you're getting somewhere. Weddings. Oh, is this a single page website? With let's see. Oh, okay, no, it's just loading kind of slow. Yeah, no, that's your home. That's strange. My opinion is putting business stuff on a wedding website is not my favorite, but yeah, like, yeah, this page, I don't think a couple would really love seeing this. Cave Hill DJ set. No, is that the business? Yeah. Okay, there we go. Yeah, that's strange. Okay, I got it. Yeah, I mean, I think you need to drive people towards your packages. So you do photography as well. So this website's just doing so much, honestly, like newborns, automotive, family, food, like every page is trying to do way too much. Like, you got to put, this is what I'll tell you, in weddings, trying to do everything is not a selling point. In weddings, it's all about giving people a focused experience and just giving people a very focused experience. And I think that when you say automotive, couples, events, families, like, a couple doesn't care about that stuff. If you want to do all that and you're actually doing a lot of business doing that, I would encourage you to maybe make a separate website, a separate brand. Because I think focusing on couples, because your competitors are going to be like, screw all this crap. We only do weddings. And it's gonna be a lot easier to buy their product than it is to buy yours. Store. Do you sell t-shirts? Oh, you sell prints too. I mean, this website is all over the place. Okay. So I want to say, I think my opinion is you should probably get the help of a branding person, because there's a lot of good stuff. Like, the work is good, your prices are good, but the actual if I was a person buying the wedding film, like, oh, that's weird. Okay, so I went here. This is your actual homepage. Jared, I don't have those people, especially because I don't know where people are living. But yeah, so this is your actual homepage. This is a lot better than the one that I got landed on. It was very strange, actually. So your actual homepage, you start here, capture every moment. This is Belfast, and you got a bunch of other stuff going on. Man, yeah, I would encourage you, focus down on weddings, get yourself a nice wedding branding package, get those packages out there. And I think it would do better for weddings. I can't speak towards your market and whatnot, but I will say, like, there's a lot, the work is good, and your package presentation is very, like, even though I think it'd be better with bullets, it looks to me like it's pretty straightforward. When you present the packages though, yeah, you said kind of pricing. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on here. And I would say, like, I can't really get all into it on a web thing. This is a type of website where I would want to sit down with you, and actually talk to you about what you're trying to do with your business. And so I guess I would kind of take a little aside here on, websites are virtual business cards. And if you got a business card from someone and it said chef, juggler, concrete pourer, ventriloquist, you wouldn't be like, wow, talented guy. You would be like, what is this guy? Right. And I think, like, trying to think about that side of it, which is like, you don't want to come across as jack of all trades, master of none. If you go to my website, not to say that we're the website in all websites, but our website, we have weddings, right? But we also own our ad agency. We own a commercial wedding business. We own another website that's for weddings that's targeted differently. We just make different websites because just giving people that focused experience is really important to us. And we've seen that it works. And I would encourage you, this site needs a lot of help because it's very unfocused. And so I would say maybe do a little work on it and submit it again. Let us know that this is a second submission. I'd love to look at it again when it was more focused on weddings and a little less all over the place. But your work looks good, and that's what matters most. I always say that. So the last thing, we only got two more. I can look at two more. Kyle, I'm going to do yours next time. Kyle Smith, I like your work. Maybe let's just power through it. I'm going to power through it because I always feel bad because I always want to pronounce when I have these awesome names, Bihardi Productions. Hopefully I said that right. Okay. So for foremost, get rid of that phone number off your website. It's going to get scraped by a bot, and these people are going to be harassing the crap out of you. And you don't want that. That sucks. Oh, geez. Is this showing up? It's not showing up. Sorry. I'm just screwing up left and right. All right. What I was saying was there was a pop-up that appears on here, and I just don't like that. I would encourage you guys, don't put a pop-up on your website. That's not a trust builder. That's a trust breaker. So don't do that. Home wedding packages. It's weird that you have a stacked menu. I guess I don't say I hate it. It's unique. But so let's look at the home page like always. All right. I don't love this poster frame. Just so you know, like, I think you need a better hero shot on your homepage. He's kind of making like a creepy face at her. I know it's like in between and right in the middle of a move, but yeah, so it seems like, yeah. So we got, let's go on an adventure. Why are you, and then wedding films are special. I guess my question with this section is, what are you trying to communicate and what are you trying to get someone to do? If your goal is to make someone read, no one wants to read. So my thing was, can you give them what they want, and like I said, you really don't want to be putting unless it's like an 800 number or a VoIP number, which maybe it is. Don't put your cell phone number is all I'm saying. Don't put your cell phone number because people will. That's bad. So let's look at wedding packages. All right. Wow. Okay. You got a lot of packages going on here. I wonder if you could simplify it a little on some of these and maybe do like these packages plus an a la carte menu. And are you telling me people pay more money for a gimbal? I wouldn't personally do it that way because I would want to be able to sell people. First of all, I mean, that's your promotions. So you should just shoot as good as you can at every wedding. I don't think people should pay more for good shooting. There's a lot going on here. I mean, there's no pricing. There's too much reading. I think you need to rework this page and really think about like simplified package structure. And a lot of this stuff should just be a la cartes. You know, like Ultra HD 4K. That's not a package. That's an a la carte. Like you should be able to add Ultra HD 4K. Like, why couldn't I add that to the bronze package? Like, you know what I mean? There's no reason I couldn't add. You're keeping me from spending money on you, is what you're doing. And that's not good. Like, there's no reason why somebody shouldn't be able to add like I don't know, what did we get? Slow motion integration. Like I have to pay money for slow motion. Like I don't. It doesn't feel good, you know. So some of these things should not. They're in premium color grading. Like, what does that even mean? Like, my opinion with wedding couples, unless it's like 4K where people understand that, putting as little video terminology as possible and not charging people for good video. Charge them for deliverables. Don't charge them for, I'll do a good job. I'll do an even better job. Yeah. So, yeah. And I do like that you give them a starting price, but I could not imagine where your prices are headed with there, and based on how the amount of just different things. Like, I can't imagine like custom title animation, like that a couple knows what any of this stuff is. So films, I'd like to see these a little smaller, but you know, you can see them. That's cool. Testimonials. This page looks a little broken. I would not have it looking like this. Planning resources. Oh, it's interesting. I mean, it looks terrible, but I think it's interesting that you include your friends on there. That's kind of nice of you to do. And, you know, hopefully they return the favor. Contact. Like, honestly, this is your best looking page. This is a nice looking page. So I'm sorry for shredding it, by the way, like, because I feel like there's a lot of like, if you can cut through the crap of like all those words, there's a good product to be found here. And simplifying this website, it's going to be a lot better and a lot more effective. And I think you're on to something. So hopefully that was helpful. Okay, we got 2 more films. Or 2. Oh, man. It's been a long day. You want to see something cool I got, guys? I'm going to show you a new thing I bought. If you haven't seen, by the way, I did a little unboxing of the new Rode Go. We're going to do a review of that. This is our the new loop deck that I'm going to be using to do live streams, and maybe we'll do some editing with it. If anybody has it here, tell me if you like it in the comments below. I'm excited about starting to use that thing. All right, so here we go. Film life. So I'll give you a little branding critique here. I'm just like a big believer that wedding films, like weddings have a certain aesthetic, right? And it's not a production aesthetic. And a lot of production guys that go into wedding films, they struggle because they bring a production aesthetic into weddings, which it's not fun. It's not soft. It's not feminine. You know, like just having a giant 35 millimeter film reel, you know, it's just not my favorite. And I think like immediately I look at that and think like, oh, is this like a film processing company. No, they're a wedding film company. So I would just say maybe looking at that, softening it up a little. But I really don't like that. It probably looks good as a frame, actually, if it's moving, but don't love that still in the background. Love story full of the feels. So that's fun. Like, that's a fun, like, silly way of talking. I don't think it matches the website, the vibe of the website. I think, like, if you're going to say the feels and whatnot, it's got to be cute. It's got to be Instagram. It's got to be fun. And not like production-y, like up there. Let's talk. I actually like button. It's very, very, like, you just look at the button. I like how it looks. Watch our favorite wedding films. There's a lot of work on the homepage. I like that. Okay, I'll show the YOLO box again, Kyle. Who is Film Life? I like that too. It's a cute picture. I mean, there's actually a lot to like on this homepage. All right, we get right into the packages. They're presented well. Can I just give everybody a pointer? A lot of you guys have these killer, like, presentations and great, like, this would be great for a couple, really easy to get through, but your top of your page is just not strong. And I would say, like, really, really, really focus on delivering an incredible first image and a great logo. I think that helps a lot. Weddings, here's an interesting thing. So we look on the weddings. This is the weddings page. This is the whole page. I honestly think you would be well served to have a packages page on here. I think that would be great. Making someone scroll that long to get to these things, not my favorite. I think it'd be better if it was like, home, wedding films, packages, pregnancy films. I don't know if you sell a lot of these. This is cool though that you have it. I wonder if it's a separate form. Cool. Travel films. What is this? Let's see what this is. I can't even imagine what this is. Is it your travel films or their travel films? You go travel with them and film their films. Yeah, man. I don't know how you guys feel about this, but I'm a big fan of including personal work on your wedding website. It's just a wasted menu item. Even though the work is nice, I would prefer to be a more focused thing. This is a great YouTube page. I don't think it needs to be on your website. Slow-mo booth is a product. It's a slow load web page too. That's it. All right, so it does not work at all. Maybe it's just like you're in the slow-mo booth now. It's supposed to simulate the feeling. Okay, man. I mean, or woman, whoever submitted. So I'm going to say this. The one I look for in a page, and you've seen it a lot tonight, is how are you presenting the offering? So when you present the offering, it's solid and it makes sense. You can't really learn more, which I don't love. Like, if you wanted to understand the package at all, it's not the best. And, I want to show you one more time. If you weren't here at the beginning, this is how we do for our product. If every one of these is a video. So if you go minus, we forgot to, Jared, change it out. You got to make that graphic for the elopement package. That's a new package we added during COVID. Anyway, you can watch a video.
This is going to be our most popular package out there.
Where we explain
6 to 10 hours worth of coverage.
What the package is. Right there. So we have videos, and, like, you can learn a lot about it. And, like, I would just say thinking through how your packages are presented on the film. Here's another thing up here. You can't see it, but your page is not secure. It's flagging it. So you might need to go get, like, an SS, like, you need some help with the web design side, because your site is really vulnerable, and actually some people wouldn't even let it go on, and it might tell them you're going to get a virus. Don't go to this website. So I think you need some help with the website. maybe a more experienced person can help you out. We own a web design studio, so if you want some help, feel free to reach out to Jared and I, and maybe we can help it make it so it's not. So I'm going to talk to Kyle just directly. First of all, Kyle, I love you, dude. You're a great guy. Kyle Smith, 87 Smith. I've been to your site before, by the way. All right. And then I'm going to show Kyle the YOLO box because we're going to promote it one more time. And then Kyle, get your questions ready about. So here we are, 87 and Smith. You got great work here. I mean, it's just like, this is an awesome first impression they're giving me. The amount of greens and just cinematic kind of vibe, and just, it's great. And it matches your serif font, which is also great. You know, you do have the word there, so I'm a fan of seeing it in the top corner, but it's not the end of the world. I mean, the work is great and all that stuff. So it looks expansive. So we got reviews. That's good too. I mean, solid, man. It's a great homepage. Of course, cutie Kyle right there. A little bit of personality. I mean, I feel like this is like bordering on luxury in how it's presented, and so I think that's the goal. So I'd say good job. So we got about some of the same content, which is, you know, it's fine. You know, I think the about page is important, but not important. I also like how you get here and you're just like, go look at my services, bro. And you immediately do that. So, do you mind telling us where you start price-wise, Kyle? So I can calibrate my brain. Yeah, I mean, I like that you just said, this is our experience, this is what you're going to get. You know, you're very careful to say this is tailored, it's a process, like, and then you have some prices right here. Oh, there it is. It's right there. Okay. So I'm curious, Kyle, if this is working for you. I do think having one more package would be great. Like, could you provide an entry package for people that would be in, like, just showing someone a $45 or $4,000 price tag and making it even undesirable would help you sell the tailored collection. Like, you know, could you give someone just a highlight film and get rid of some stuff for $4,500 just to make the $5,200 package more valuable? I wonder about that. But I think you're kind of prepping a person for a higher price. And, you know, so I think somebody would have, if you said investment begins at like $4,500 or $4,200 or whatever you think the price should be, and it, no one's going to buy it, but it helps you add value to this tailored collection. But it's good. I like that you have FAQ. I love a FAQ. Oh yeah, dude. This is awesome. So you're really communicating directly to couples. Like, you're helping someone shop so much, Kyle. And there's a lot to learn here. Do we get to pick our own music? I get anxiety over, thought it'd be on camera. Do you offer photography? A website is supposed to, I'm going to say this to the camera. No. A website is supposed to help someone buy things, guys. Make it easy for people. Make it clear. Make it obvious what the process is. And this website does a good job of what it's like to work with Kyle. Films, of course. This is a pretty cool presentation. I like that. Press, like that. I mean, this is Kyle, and is like a very humble guy, and he's always learning. He's always asking questions. You would never think he's as good as he is. Like, actually, if you sat in a chat room with Kyle, you might be like, "Oh, this guy's kind of new." No, he's not. He's good, and he's hungry, and he's gonna keep being better and make more and more money. And that's how you get like this, man. I know you've been on other people's sites. You are looking for what works, and you're adding them to your site and being very thoughtful about your clients. And then your contact. So, dude, Awesome. So what this is the YOLO box, Kyle, right here. Yeah, he did a great job. I really it's almost better than the Rev. So but this is the YOLO box. This thing up here, you got your HDMIs and USB. They've told me, I've never done this, but they've told me you can actually add a third camera using the USB input, which yeah. And HDMI out. Oh, my wife is on here. Oh no. And then we got the Ethernet and then audio in, and then there is a headphone jack, which is better than the freaking old ATEM Mini. It doesn't have a headphone out. SIM card, all that stuff. So this thing is cool. You got 4G, you got Ethernet, Wi-Fi. I mean, you can take this thing and stream. I mean, it's awesome. If you want to get one, there's a link. It is a great tool, easy way to add easy 10 grand to your bottom line as a wedding filmmaker with doing very little work. So, hey guys, hopefully that was at least a little educational, hopefully a little fun. We got a lot of content coming up. Next week we're going to be doing a film critique. And so if you, sorry about that. If you want to have a film reviewed, Jared's going to give you guys the link one more time to submit your film. Go ahead and do that. We also are launching something new. We're doing on the podcast next week, talking about just why your business model is crap. And it's kind of a little incendiary title because we want to have a little fun with it. But we're talking about business models and business plans. And like, that's a big passion of ours here at Wedding Film School, is not just to help you shoot better, because that matters, right? But at the end of the day, the thing that makes you great is not being great with your camera. The thing that makes you great is making good business decisions. One of them is, for some of you guys, you're going to invest in a web designer or a branding person to help you with something you suck at. That's cool. You don't have to be good at everything, but everything needs to be good. Does that make sense? You don't have to be good at everything, but everything in your business needs to be good. And like, one of the things we think is there's your business model and having a business plan. So hopefully you guys check out the podcast on Tuesday. It's coming out, and we're excited about this episode because we think it's going to really help a lot of people. And that is the point of Wedding Film School. So if you were helped, like, subscribe, share, do all the YouTube stuff. We're excited that we're helping you guys out. Hopefully you're enjoying the content. The other thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to be releasing our review next week. I don't want to say the day because I want to make sure it's good, for the new Rode Wireless Go 2. And so far, pretty impressed with that thing, but we're going to be putting it through its paces next week and releasing a new film. Bobby's got some stuff coming next week. There's a lot of stuff coming on Wedding Film School. Can't wait to hang out with you guys some more. Thanks for checking out our live stream.